Good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Or whenever you're watching this, hi, how's it going? I hope you're doing well, and if you are excited for this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and let's get started with May's wrap-up for 2021. I have myself a cold Canada Dry ginger ale. I'm ready to go. So the first thing I read in the month of May is a Thickum Omnibus of Elfin Lied. This is volume 1 of the version that Dark Horse printed. I think this is the only English version we have. And I was a huge fan of this series when I was a kid, like in high school. I own the anime and I've watched it an immeasurable amount of times. Like so many times that I seriously just, it's one of my favorites. But let me say this, I gave this 4 stars. I can't say I recommend this to anyone unless you are a fan already, because reading this after taking a little break from rewatching the anime and stuff, it is rough. This is some rough writing, and the art's okay. I think the art's fine. I mean, it's not perfect. There are times whenever characters were like lopsided, but that's not even the issue. It's there's cousin incest, you know, that's a thing in a lot of manga. There's blood and gore, which I knew, and there are some young characters in this that are either sexualized very openly, or they are shown / insinuated very heavily that they were sexually harassed and abused, if you know what I'm getting at. Lots and lots of trigger warnings for this, not just your typical ones, but you know, if you can think of a trigger warning, it's probably in here. I haven't seen everything, but most of them are in here, so just please be cautious if you're curious about this series. I might recommend the anime over this because, you know, just to let you kind of know what you're getting into. And the anime is only like 13 episodes. Short, sweet, to the point, very dark. There's even like animal murder in here. So I like it because I have nostalgia with it, and I will continue to finish it because I never actually read the full story because it's not finished in the anime. So I wanted to actually know how the series ends. And it's only in like 4 or 5 omnibuses. So it's a pretty short one, and I like it, so I'm gonna continue it. Just don't know if I recommend it to you guys, but to each their own and at your own risk. The next thing I read is a short story collection that I was sent very kindly via the publisher on Instagram. It is Everyone Worth Knowing by Jeff Richards, a short story collection. This was a arc that I got, and it came out on June 1st, 2021. So this has already come out if you're interested in a short story collection that is very character driven. Each little story is about a specific character and maybe the people in their life and the things that they have gone through, good or bad, maybe their personality faults. A lot of these characters aren't great characters, they're faulted. I even think the very first story, if I remember correctly, is about a man who, you know, during the pandemic doesn't believe in wearing a mask or anything, so it's just him and who he gets sick and the repercussions of him doing that. And it's not necessarily political when it talks about that, but it does very blatantly tell you, like, this is what he did wrong and this is what happened because of it, and does he regret it? I'm not going to spoil that for you. So you know, it's just a character study, honestly, and I really enjoyed some of the stories in here. Some of them were kind of mid-tier, some of them weren't great at all, some of them I didn't understand the point, but there were a few really good ones in here that I liked. I'll tell you the scores of everything real quick because I wrote them all down. I gave Riding the Fences 3 stars, Losing Lars 2 stars, Rage Blow 4 stars, Fine Art 4 stars, Happiness 4 stars, Hallelujah 1 star, Cool Guitar 3 stars, The Cook 3 stars, Dude 3 stars, The Heart-Shaped Box 5 stars, Konowingo 3 stars, The Right Thing 4 stars, The Last Supper 3 stars, The Bees 3 stars, Where I Want 4 stars, Everyone Worth Knowing 3 stars, Crossroads 3 stars, and that's it. Yeah, that's every story in this book. I like to individually rate them and stew on them and think about what I would give them if they were their own book kind of situation. Short stories are really fun to read, especially in a small collection. I get a little intimidated by really thick ones, but I still really like short stories. So I recommend it enough if you're interested in a new writer or some character studies that may or may not be good people, and fairly unbiased political conversation, I think, in here sometimes. There's discussions on a women's place in relationships and society, and some characters who may or may not be treating women correctly, class issues like poverty levels and everything. So it's interesting enough. I gave it 3 stars overall. I think I rounded it down because it was like 3.2 something. So yeah, pretty decent average book, I would say. More good than bad, honestly. The next thing I read is volume 4 of the 3-in-1s of Bleach. Ooh, the light catches it bad. This one has Renji on it. Everybody loves Renji. And this one has volumes 10, 11, and 12 in it. I am slowly but surely making my way through Bleach, and I'm loving it. It is so good. I watched the anime with my husband, and it was wonderful, and I wanted to read the source material because my husband has read it, and he says it's really good, and it doesn't have all the crazy filler. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'm making my way through this one, and these omnibuses are decent quality and they're really easy to get through. So I gave this one 5 stars easily. Very good. Cannot wait to continue. This one, they're breaking into the Soul Society, so it's starting to be introduced to all of those characters and just that part at the beginning of the story. And I remember when I originally watched the series when I was younger, when it was originally coming on like Toonami or Adult Swim, I stopped at the point when we get to this part, but it was like almost at the end of when they break in. So I stopped at it twice. So I was like, I just don't like Bleach, but if you keep going, it gets really good. So I do recommend the series and the manga. The next thing I read is volume 4 of Sweat and Soap. This is by Kentetsu Yamada. And y'all, I keep singing this series praises. Please read this if you like romance. If you've been wanting more adult romance, but maybe not necessarily like hentai, please read it, because there are some smutty parts in it, but it's not full out like raunchy. Not for kids though, definitely. There are some, it's OT 16 plus. There are some scenes in here that I don't think are appropriate for children, but it's also not like hentai. So if you're in that middle range of wanting some romance or a shoujo but not a shoujo, I would read this. It is so good. It is so sweet. They actually act like people in a way, and they aren't like constantly being thrown obstacles to defeat in their relationship like in most shoujo. It's like if they have a problem, they discuss it, and they don't let it swell up and then break up or like just forget about it. They discuss it and they weigh the possibilities, the good and the bad, and then they might actually ask their friends what they think about things. So it's like an actual couple who are real people, and it's really fun to read about how normal, healthy adult relationships should be going. And it makes me just so happy reading this. I love the guy, I love the girl. They're just so cute together, and I don't know, it's just so fluffy and fun and sexy sometimes. So yeah, I love it, and I highly recommend it. 5 stars almost every single time, if not every time. It's just that good. The next thing I read is volume 2 of Parasite by Hitoshi Iwaki. This is a series about a alien species that is dropping down from the sky one day, and they sneak into people's brains almost invisibly and take over their brains and start killing and eating and just trying to learn how to blend in. They figure out they have to blend in with society or they'll be figured out. So they start blending in as people and you know, doing their bidding as they go along. And we have our main character Shinichi, who is attacked by one of these parasites, and he catches it in his hand before he gets possessed or whatever, and so it stays in his hand. So that's what this is. This is his hand that is possessed by Miki, who is his alien person. It's really good. This is a horror. I don't know what other this is classified as, because you're trying to figure out who are these aliens, why are they here, and maybe do they deserve to be the head species? Like, who gets to be on Earth? Like, who is worthy of that role in society? Like, you know, maybe they are here for a reason and humans really aren't that great and we should let them take over, you know, that kind of thing. I read a lot of manga that deal with that kind of conversation. And this also has like an environmental twist on it towards the end, at least in the anime it did. So if those kinds of conversations interest you, I recommend this series. It's blood and gore, so just be prepared for that. And there's like loss of parent or loss of loved one in some of these. There's you know, I think that an animal gets killed in one of them, and just a lot of fighting and stuff like that. So just be prepared what you're getting into, but highly recommend it. It is fantastic. The anime is amazing. I recommend that too, but I watched it first, so I'm slowly making my way through the manga, and it is so good. It's an old style, so the art is has definitely aged, but I really like that. I like that it's an older style, and I haven't read a ton of old manga, so I'm excited to continue. 4 stars. Alright guys, this part's for the adults, so if you're not an adult, you can just mute the video right here or wait till I put this book down, because this is not for kids, and I'm not going to go into full detail because I don't want to embarrass myself, but I do have to tell you that I read this. Fight Island by Rebun Ike. This has blown up all over YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's where I saw it, was TikTok. I don't follow a ton of manga people on TikTok yet because I'm just slowly getting into that part of it, but this popped up in like 4 people's TikToks, them just being like, oh my god, it's hilarious, it's so creepy, weird. And I don't think they were sponsored. I think it just so happened that way, and I had to buy it. It was like $11 or something. Full price, it's $12.99 US. I got it on Amazon for like $11, and it's exactly what it says. I do think that the untranslated title was better, honestly. I think it had something to do with the 8, because there's like 8 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 7 or 8 characters in here. It would have been a little more safe for work with that title, but this is eye-catching. I will give them that. The publishers, they got us. And right here on the cover, you can see there's a character who is wearing some weird clothing and a big thing on his thing, okay? Because the whole premise of this manga is you put something on your thing and then you fight. And it's something, because they end up doing nasty things on the battlefield in front of a crowd, and it's weird, y'all. Like, I read this, I gave it 3 stars. I was looking at my paper. I gave it 3 stars because it wasn't terrible. Like, there was some decent story and art in here. Like, the art is wonderful. I would show you, but I can't. The dang plot, like, I'm just flipping through here and I'm already seeing some penetration, and it's just nuts. Like, normally, you know, when you look at like a adult, like real adult, that kind of spine manga, you're gonna get a little bit of censoring because that's just how it works. This one is 99% uncensored. There's weird moments. I wish I could show you, but I can't because it's literally peen. There's weird little parts where you're looking at a full peen, or like 90% of one, and there's like a bar, like a bar that's like the size of a piece of gum compared to the thing it's covering up, and it's like very tiny, covering up random parts of the thing, and I'm like, why? Because it doesn't seem very consistent in where it's covering up, in my opinion. So it's like, you think it would be like the tip or whatever. I'm sorry, this is embarrassing to talk about, but I have to tell you because it's interesting to me. It doesn't just cover up that part. It covers up like a random part in the middle, or like a vein or something. I don't understand. If you know why, in the most censored terms, can you explain to me in the comments? Because I tried looking this up and I could not find anything. Why they censored it like they did, because I just do not get it. It is confusing as heck to me, and I'm very curious to know why they chose to do that, because they obviously by law had to censor it, I guess, because why would they do that? But at the same time, it was useless censoring because you could see everything pretty much. There's a loophole in there somewhere, and I'm sure they bent it and broke it, but I need to know because it's weird. And this is weird, and it had a very wholesome ending that I was surprised by, and I think by the Goodreads reviews that I read after I rated it, they were also surprised at how wholesome the ending of this was. It is very gay, of course. I don't think there's a single female in this except for one that I saw. And yeah, it's interesting. I'm probably going to buy the second volume. I don't know how many this is supposed to be, but it does have a 1 on it. So it is more than 1 volume. And I'll decide if I want to continue after second volume, because this is weird and I'm not sure if it's worth the investment if it's going to be a long series, because I just don't know where it can go. But yeah, this is something, and I don't know if I recommend it unless you're adult and you're very curious and you can find a copy, because as soon as I bought mine it started going out of stock, so good luck with that. The next thing I read is volume 1 of A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow by Makoto Hagino. This is a light Yuri, at least in the first volume. It's very, very light. They haven't done anything yet. Nothing's really happened between them. They're just really good friends so far. They've decided that, you know, they can be friends with each other, and it's very sweet. I like this a lot. I want to continue it very, very soon, because I think there's like 7 or 8 volumes of this out, and I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but I love it because not only is it like a cute little Yuri with 2 sweet characters who I think are going to do very well together, but it's also very fish based and aquatic based, and I love aquariums and tropical life. So this is about a girl who works as the only member of a aquarium club at her school, which is based on an actual club that's famous at this particular school. So the author did their work. It's very interesting to read about in the back, in the author's notes. And this girl joins the school and decides to be a part of the club. So it's just really sweet and wholesome and fluffy and beautiful to learn about the animals. You do learn about them, and it's so cute, y'all. Like, please read this if you're not already. This is one of the most wholesome Yuri I've ever heard of or read about, and a lot of people like it. I gave this 5 stars easily, and I can't wait to pick up more. I want to pick up the whole series so I can just binge through it, because I love it. Great for Pride Month too, by the way. It is $9.99 normal, so it's like an average priced Viz copy, and I just really like it. It's very pretty, and I want more. I need it. Alright guys, I had to change the battery in my camera, so sorry about that. The last thing that I read this month was volume 1 of Oku, The Inner Chambers. This is a historical fiction. I'm not quite sure if you would consider this like romance or just, I think it's just historical fiction. I wasn't sure what to think about this because I saw it in the backs of so many manga tubers' shelves that I was like, well, they obviously all love it, but no one really talked about it that I've heard, because I might be late to the game. This is good, y'all. Please check out my other video. I will link it in the cards where I do a first impressions about this, because I kind of go into more detail as to why I personally like it. I guess if I'm going to summarize it, this is a historical fiction about a time in Japan where a different ending to how society works. So women are the leaders of the households and run everything because of something that happened to the men. It's very interesting to see how the roles are reversed and how not different it actually is. And they're trying to learn about when this happened, why this happened, and how this happened. And there's little shorter-ish stories within this about characters. There's one character at the beginning of this one that I really liked following, and I'm not sure we're ever going to see him again, because he kind of just finishes his story and goes. I'm hoping he gets brought back somehow, because he's very interesting to read about, but probably not. We'll see. I only have 4 volumes on my shelves right now, so I wanted to make sure I liked it, but I really do. I gave it 5 stars. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. These are $12.99 US, and I think I have to get most of them used because it's been out for a while, but they're good quality. The art style is older. You can see it's a little bit older, and there's a ton of text in here. These are very text heavy pages, which I normally do not like, but in this I do not mind it because of the subject matter. So I highly, highly recommend it if you are interested in this. Don't be thrown off because it's historical, because I would have been, but I didn't even know that going in, and it was great. So maybe I should give more things a chance. Anyways, that was good. Please read it. Anyways, you guys, that's everything I read in the month of May 2021. I'm pretty happy with this stack. I think if I can keep up this, I'll have a good amount of books finished at the end of every month and at the end of the year. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know by subscribing to my channel. I'm working very hard to get to the monetization status because my husband just hit it on his channel. He does martial arts videos, so please go check him out too. I'll have his channel in the description if you're interested in like fight scenes and choreography and video game stuff, like nerdy things and anime characters. And he also does some commentary over some fighting movies and stuff. So he does all kinds of martial arts, karate, fighting content, and he works really hard on his stuff, and I help him out a lot too. So yeah, please go check that out if you're interested. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.